Most of the national polls in the media right now looking at the November presidential election show that Joe Biden is leading President Trump. But check out this latest poll by Democracy Institute that was conducted for the British newspaper Sunday Express. When voters were asked if they would want their friends and family to know how they voted, this is great. Just 37% of Trump supporters said yes, while 74% of Biden voters wanted their vote to be known. The poll clearly suggests that there is a silent support for the president. So why would a large percentage of those voting for the president's reelection keep quiet about it? Well, joining us to discuss this is Dr. Sebastian Gorka, America First host and former deputy assistant to President Trump. Dr. Gorka, welcome to the show.
Hey, Sean, call me Seb. Great to be on your show, and congratulations.
Yeah, all right, thank you. So it's interesting. We saw this in 2016, and I think we're going to have a repeat of it this cycle, where people don't want to tell pollsters or their friends that they're supporting President Trump. And lo and behold, on election night, a bunch of these folks in the media wake up and go, wow, we missed it.
Look, two of the tweets I've saved from the election, and I'm sure they're on your phone as well, is about 3 weeks before the election. It was the New York Times tweet, Hillary Clinton has a 92% chance of winning. And then on the day of the election, Sean, the sweetest of all was the Huffington Post tweet. President Trump, candidate Trump has a 5% chance of winning, and Hillary's got a 94% chance. Polling is dead, Sean. It is totally dead. You remember, you can buy at antique shops these little busts. They're called phrenology busts. It's this Victorian science of feeling the bumps on your head to define your character. Polling in America is like phrenology. It's a fake science. It is totally dead. I trust polls about as much as I trust anybody who works for the fake news industrial complex.
Well, Seb, dead or not, something I think is really interesting, the media tends to focus on these national polls. We're seeing a lot of those lately.
Yes.
But races are really won in the battleground states. Should they be focusing on these state polls instead?
Yeah, that's another great point. The idea that you're going to get any kind of credible results from national polls. Well, let's just remind the pollsters and the fake news industrial complex that uses these polls. We have an electoral college. It's totally irrelevant what a national poll says. You're right. You've got to concentrate on the key battleground states. It's Pennsylvania, it's Florida, it's Ohio. The idea that you have two people on a national poll, who cares? It's just counting the wrong things and counting the things that are easy to count, but which, of course, are irrelevant.
You know, Seb, I don't know about your neighborhood, but I got a lot of Biden signs in my neighborhood, and I rarely ever, if ever, see a Trump sign. And I think part of this is because this whole group of folks right now, if you say that you're supporting President Trump, will go after you. Liz Peek is a columnist. She wrote this in foxnews.com. She wrote, "The woke mob will shame you and get you fired. No one will stand up for you. No one will protect you. It's safer to remain silent." I think she's got a point here, which is it is not acceptable right now to say that you are supporting the president, never mind voting for the president. And that's why you're going to see this suppression of the president's support, especially in national polls.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. When you have the op-ed page editor of the New York Times fired, why? Because he dared to publish the opinion piece of an elected Republican senator who said we've got to stop the rioting on the streets of America. It's, woke sounds funny, snowflake sounds funny, but really it's fascism. When you're only allowed to agree with one opinion, you have to agree with Antifa, you have to agree with Black Lives Matter's radical policy of busting up the nuclear family or defunding the police, and otherwise you get fired. It's un-American, Sean.
Yep. Well, Seb, thank you for being here. I appreciate your insight, and hopefully we'll be able to look back on this and see a lot more of those kind of things that you've got on your phone in this 2020 election as well.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing news channel, now in 65 million homes. Get Newsmax TV on all the major cable systems, or go to newsmaxtv.com and click on the Find Newsmax tab to locate us. Remember, Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.